One of the greatest game modes ever made, but Madden never touched it again. Fantasy Challenge. Folks, this game has kind of been duplicated just a little bit where you play some awesome stuff, but let's get right into it. This game was only made for Madden 08. It's absolutely amazing. Here's what it is basically is you go out and you create a team or use an existing team and you manage a smaller set of rosters. You can actually lose some of your players by getting them taken away from you for trades. People can actually try and progress their own players and make them better. You complete in the mini games for players or take away roster points. You can actually defeat all new Supreme League teams and unlock more players, which is absolutely amazing. I actually did a quick mini draft, which was a lot of fun. You go in and there's a value per player, and you have to find out how many. You can only have a certain amount of value per pick. Like, as you can see, I have 146 on my first pick. I can choose whoever I want, and so it really cuts you down. Like, I could take a quarterback right now, but I'm actually going to wait because I'm pick number 28. You can actually use like a dream team of all the Hall of Famers. You can actually do see, isn't that neat how you can do all the linebackers, but it tells you who the linebackers are and their value. The only problem is I only have 83 pick cap this round, so I can only take a player, and it took me 3 or 4 rounds to actually get up high enough to actually choose the correct player. But as you can see, there's 32 teams. Peyton Manning was selected first overall. Steve Smith, Chad Ochocinco, Tom Brady. Those guys are like the top in the league. And some of you Madden Ghosts of the Ultimate Team players, you can actually see that some of them players are up there in the top, and that's why, because they were big numbers back in the 08 time. But you can actually protect 3 people from getting persuaded to go to another team, which is kind of cool. It's kind of like stages. You can actually play versus the lower seeded teams for a little while. But you try and finish as top 2 teams in your conference. Your standings, you track you play like 4 games. You acquire skill points, but as you can see, the teams that I'm playing are the lower overall rated teams, and the ones that didn't draft that well. You can actually negotiate a player away, different quarterbacks. You can actually take roster points that you earn and use them to try and sway players to come over. But right now, the beginning of the thing, you don't really want to do that too much because there's not that good of players in this. Most of the players you have are better than them anyway. So you can actually, it's nice because you can actually do what you want to do. If you didn't like your draft, you can actually get another player as long as they're not protected. But as you can see, different, like that linebacker there, he could help you out, different. But basically, if you sway a player over, it takes your top player and you get that player. As you can see, this is a horrible trade. Someone offered me 7 roster points plus Adam Stewart for my best linebacker, which was really bad. 68 overall. Those roster points can be added to the overall rating of any player. So you don't really want to lose too many of those. But as you can see, this beautiful introduction here looks a lot like the new Maddens, which is kind of funny, but hey, that's part of life. But I really wanted to do a quick video on this. I'm in a little bit of a series. If you haven't checked out my previous videos, it was a Madden 08 Game of the Year award that Tercera Fire myself gave away. So this is probably one of the greatest games that has ever been created in my lifetime. I've always been more of a sports player, so that's just the way it is. Oh my gosh, horrible play, but Vincent Jackson tore me up right there. Nice little, who is this? Smith. Alex Smith gets sacked by Michael Strahan. Kind of cool to play with some of these old players that are now retired, and some of them have won Super Bowls or gone on to do some amazing things in the NFL, which is kind of neat. A little precision passing back in the day too. I'm having a hard time stopping Alex Smith and Clinton Portis here for some reason, but I tried to tackle this guy, and that was probably the best break tackle I've ever seen in my life. Wow. So I'm in a little bit of a series here. I'm doing one more video to show you the off-season of the Madden 08, which was probably one of the greatest ever. I did a Tercera Fire top some of the people that follow my Certifier Madden 12 Creative Team franchise, 4-year franchise I did on YouTube, I actually came up with some cool first and last names, and I put them all in players in that series. So make sure you check out the previous videos for that. And I also talk about this Madden 08 overall game, the way that the game is played and the way that game is done. In the different franchise modes that make things amazing and a lot of fun. So make sure you check out previous videos. The last video I'll be making after this one will be the last of this 4-part series. It will be the Madden 08 off season. Just like a walkthrough of how it's done and how amazing and how much awesome it is. But as you can see, Andre Johnson, one of my first picks, absolutely amazing play right there, right before the half to go up by almost 10 points, right? I think it is 10 points by the time I get done. But look at this amazing replay. Kind of cool. It's a little fun to watch these old games as you go back in and play them. I had a little bit of difficult time with my eyes because the screen just kind of shrunk in like this. I love the created fan. You can actually create a fan and put them in there and save them. And whenever you play with one of those teams, those are the people that show up. Amazing halftime stats right on the main screen while you're playing. Great idea. Why go to a different screen during halftime? Like, why don't they just give it to you? Oh my gosh. Absolutely love this scoring drive summary too. That is so nice to see. They actually pick a top player for that, but I fail right there. Bryant. I'm trying to think of who that Bryant guy was. Well, I'm losing 21-17. Clinton Portis is doing something there. But my defense is absolutely amazing. Boom, Sniggles, 1, 2, 3 in your face. Give me that ball back. 1 minute to go. Fourth quarter. Tony Romo, play action. Nobody's really open, but Andre Johnson up the, oh my gosh, in between two defenders. Antonio Gates, oh my gosh, he was open too. Parker, here it is right here, 2nd and goal, 11 seconds to go, 4th quarter, losing by 5. Oh my gosh. You can actually lead a passer by holding to the left, and you can actually lead the pass. That way you don't throw the ball to the other player. But 24-21, amazing end of the game. Had so much fun. And this is one of the best little mini games that have ever been created in the world. The other one would be Zombies with Call of Duty. This right here, the Ultimate Team. The franchise fantasy challenge right here. I love the fantasy challenge. Had so much fun with it back when I owned Madden 08 in the old days. I did some amazing stuff. I used some Devin Hester action and used the Falcons. It was kind of cool. As you can see, the end of the stats, I gained 4 skill points. But here, the deceivers at the end, when you actually play all 32 NFL teams and go through it all, you go against the top 4 teams. The deceivers. There's also some other names. I can't remember them all. But you can actually see these 4 skill points. You can actually put them all into certain players. Isn't that kind of cool? So it's a different way of playing the game. It's a lot of fun. If you like going through series like that, I love doing this kind of stuff. It's kind of like the tournaments in Madden. I wish they could create like a 12-team tournament instead of an online franchise. It would be the greatest things ever. But this is an awesome game mode. Check it out. You always get offered things to do if you play a certain mini game. You can actually win players and points. So talk to you later. Rate, comment, subscribe. Peace.